Hey everyone, this is LuckySevenDX, and welcome back to Let's Play Mario & Luigi Bowser's Inside Story. In the last episode, Bowser died! But, don't worry, he's not dead for long. He just got zapped, he's a bit knocked unconscious, so it's time for us to do some stuff with Mario and Luigi. There's some new things unlocked that we're going to be able to get, but first, we have a new area in the Cluster Road, because now we got the jump helmets a few episodes ago. Also, there's also a new enemy in the Gauntlet. I'm just going to quickly show off who it is. As you can probably guess, it's going to be the Alpha Cretin. As you can see, it's just, we're getting level 22 for that one. So, like I said, I'm not going to be doing those for a while, as in, like, not until after I beat the game. I'll do the Gauntlet after the game, though. People have been like, do the Gauntlet, so you know what? I'll do the Gauntlet, why not? We'll see how it goes. But, it's not endless mode this time. It's a bit different for this mode. It's the only time, it's the only Cluster Road challenge that's actually different. But what we need to do here, and this is actually my favorite challenge in the game, I find this one really fun, but you need to see how far you can go with the jump helmet. You can also collect clocks, though. They'll either raise or lower your time. If you run out of time, obviously, you won't be able to, the event will stop. So you need to make, I think, 80 yards, or 80 plasmeters, or whatever you want to, plasmiles, or whatever the heck they're called. You can see every time you cross a line, the score goes up by 1. So we need to cross a bunch of those. While collecting red timers and avoiding blue timers. The yellow ones will also stop time and cause no blue timers to appear throughout the duration of a few seconds. So that's also basically want to collect yellow and red little timer things while we're doing this. So let's see how far we can get. Let's see if we can get this one good here. I believe, like I said, the score is 18. So what you want to do, obviously, you want to keep your timer around 4 or 5 minutes if you can. They do give you a lot of red ones early on for you to collect these, so collect as many of these as you can. It's not a race. You do have plenty. There's far more red timers than there is. There's plenty of red timers, so you won't have to worry about running out of time as long as you keep collecting these. So don't worry about going too fast. Focus on collecting the timers. They are your key to getting as far as you can. As you can see, though, it does rack up pretty quickly. We're already up to almost 3 minutes of extra time. So, and this whole thing's hopefully not going to take, that long. But we're going to try, just build up as much time as possible, just to give you as much leeway, so you can afford to hit blue ones. That way, you don't have to really worry about hitting the blue negative timers. You can just continue to sort of hit them. And although I'm doing a pretty good job of avoiding them so far, I haven't even hit one yet. I think I haven't hit one yet. So, if you get a high enough time, like 4 or 5 minutes, you can just hit blue timers all you want, you can focus more then on actually, jumping properly and not, dying during the, not accidentally screwing up and having Mario fall off you, which is how, of course, most of the time you're going to screw up, is if you position Luigi wrongly and Mario falls off, and then you have to end it that way. So, if you can get a high amount of time, you won't have to worry ever about, Mario, you don't have to worry about hitting the blue ones. And thus, you can just, afford to concentrate on moving Luigi properly and complete the challenge that way, if that makes any sort of sense. Otherwise, this is kind of a long challenge. It's going to take several minutes because, as you can see, we're only at 24 here. I think I can do this in one try, honestly, because I'm pretty good at jump helmets. I don't know. I've just always been really good at this challenge. Like, I think I almost got my first try just doing it the first time ever. So I don't know. Apparently, I'm good at jump helmets. I consider it the easiest one. You get a pretty interesting item from completing it. I wouldn't call it a useful one for now. You don't want to be using it in normal playthroughs, but there are times that this item can come in handy, especially for the Gauntlet. If you wanted to try to do the Gauntlet, while you're playing the game and do it a little earlier than you normally would, it can become a bit of a useful item for that. You'll see why when we get the item. It's a very high risk, high reward item, as you're going to see. Kind of like how the challenge medal is, where it's high risk because you make the enemies a lot stronger, but it's high reward because you get twice or 1.5 times as many coins. So, you can always use. You get a lot of unique items from these modes, like Cluster Road. You'll get a lot of interesting items that have effects that are a bit different from the normal. Get yourself extra give yourself extra HP or power, or for example, last time we got increased Bowser's punch. Bowser's punch will heal 8% of your health. Those are sort of standard, equipment items. I just lost a lot. I'm just losing a lot of time here, but as you can see, I still have over 4 minutes because I have so much extra time. Taking hits like that doesn't really matter. I don't have to really worry about that much. I'm already back up to 5 minutes again. So that's generally, you just want to focus on that, because I don't even need to focus on getting clocks anymore. Just make sure I survive for the next 30 meters. Or plasmeters, if you want to call it that. Probably not actually meters, because Mario and Luigi are like a millimeter tall, not even right now. But we're getting there up to 54. We're actually chained together a lot of these clocks, so to prevent any of the blue ones from appearing, which is really nice. Any of the yellow timers here, the exclamation mark timers, which reminds me of the exclamation mark barrels from like series like the Donkey Kong Country series. But yeah, so you'll get interesting items from these. Unlike, you know, just the normal sort of standard items, these ones are a bit more unique and a bit cooler. Unique doesn't necessarily mean good, though, because as you can see from like the challenge panel, oh, we already have, it's only 60, so we only needed 60. Okay, I thought it was 80. I guess I'm just thinking this is harder than it actually is. But we're taking a gun. Let's just see how far I can go for a little bit. I don't know. I just kind of feel like going a bit farther. You also get some nice coins from this too. So if you ever are short of coins, you can always do these challenges again to get more coins. I think you can get more coins from them. So not a bad idea to do it like that. Well, actually, I'm not 100% sure if you can get more coins from them. It might be just a one-time reward. That's certainly possible. Although I didn't get the B reward. It's just, the B reward's always just extra coins. The A reward's always the good item. But yeah, so extra item. Let's get 70 something. You know, I'm gonna go for 77, I think. 77, which will be it's appropriate because I'm LuckySevenDX. You know, 7 blah blah blah, pretty good number. Just to see how much time, if you could just like, you know, see how high of a I've missed. Whatever, 72, good enough. It'd be interesting to see how high of a time you can get. But anyway, you get 600 coins and Daredevil Boots, which is pretty nice. Actually, I think it's 500 coins. So I think it gives you the A and the B prize, because the B prize, I believe, is 100 coins, and the A is 500 coins. So I think it actually combined the two and gave us both of them, which is pretty interesting. I think it would make sense that they would do that. Anyway, Daredevil Boots. It doubles your attack power, but any hit you ever take will instantly kill whatever bro equips this item. So you can put it on Mario, double its attack power, which means he'll be doing obscene amounts of damage, but if he ever gets hit once, he's just dead. He's going to faint instantly, health goes to 0 instantly. So, like I said, very high risk, high reward, because you'll be able to deal a ton of damage, so it's high reward, but you'll die in one hit. Good for the Gauntlet, though, where you really have a very limited number of turns, and I mean, you have unlimited tries as long as you keep paying, so you can practice enough where you get to the point where you're not going to take a hit from that particular boss, you know, master that boss, put the Daredevil Boots on, and you'll be able to kill him even faster and get through the challenge even faster. So the Daredevil Boots are a great way to get through the Gauntlet really fast. They're really useful for the Gauntlet, but they're not useful in normal combat because you don't want to ever risk having, you know, take damage and then Mario dies and you have to waste a 1-up mushroom on him. Something like the Gauntlet where you don't have to waste 1-up mushrooms, because, you know, if you fail, you just fail. You don't have to waste the 1-up mushrooms, so in general, it makes it, you know, a better item choice to do. Anyways, as you can see, guys, we went to the pipe yard, and Fawful once again has chortles. Such a happy little guy. But we're actually out in the real world now. We've escaped Bowser's body. So, for those of you who were thinking that this entire game would take place inside Bowser's body, it doesn't. We've reached the point in the game where we actually are out in the real world now. We're getting pretty close to what I consider the 1/3 point. Actually, we're probably even at the 1/3 point, but right now this is the end of Act 1. That's gonna be happening if this next Mario and Luigi section. I consider this Mario and Luigi section the final part of Act 1. If that makes any sort of sense. Anyway, you know what I forgot to do? I just realized I forgot to go heal. I should probably go do that, so I'm going to quickly take a little detour and heal the bros. Buy myself some of that Globin juice, because it's delicious. But yeah, the pipe yard's going to be the area in Bowser's Body where we can interact with where we can basically go back to the world outside Bowser. So the first pipe will lead us to Toad Town Caves, but we're going to eventually unlock other pipes. Well, basically what we need to do with Mario and Luigi, we need to go out and find other pipes, and from those other pipes we can basically access different parts of the world. A lot of the outside world, I mean, most of Mario and Luigi's stuff is going to still take place inside Bowser. Like, we're not done exploring inside Bowser, but there will be a few outside things we need to do for the story, you know, outside the world. The next section, for example, the next section. But there's also going to be a lot of areas. There's also going to be a lot of secrets outside in the outside world. There's going to be entire sections actually that we're going to explore for Mario and Luigi and find, you know, entire huge secrets out there. So, like, and there's even I believe a secret boss fight out there. So there's lots of secrets in the outside world we can actually do through these pipes. So a lot of these pipes we're just going to find by exploring for secrets. But there's also, so don't expect it to be too much in the outside world. But this next section will be. Anyway, these dudes are such weird enemies. These guys are called Nooz, I believe, that's what their actual name is. And they fart at you. They fart at you. They're birds that look like mustaches that fart at you. Like, what the heck? Anyway, the reason there's different colors is the red and blue ones or the red and green ones will interact to do a combo attack like you saw, where they'll jump up in the air and try to hit you, like this one right here. They'll always go after Mario because the red ones go after Mario, and the green one will always go after Luigi after you hit the red one. So make sure you're ready for Luigi as well, because the thing will attack you afterwards if you don't do that. For the fart attack, it'll sort of angle it. You'll be able to see the angle at which the attack's going to come from. If it goes in the middle, it means it's going to send one at both throws. Watch out, it can knock you down, though, which is kind of unfortunate. Now, the Nooz can also change colors, so if you have two green ones, one of them will change red, so they can continue to do their combo attack, which is good, because the combo attack does a lot of damage to them. I mean, I don't mind them doing their combo attack, it helps us damage them. As you can see, though, the problem is they also can call other Nooz to battle. They do a little song, and it makes a new one spawn. So they can continuously spawn more and more of them, and really drag out the fight if you let it go on for long. So try to finish them off as fast as possible to prevent that from happening. Anyways, last time I mentioned that there's going to be an enemy that drops an item that's really, really good. The Nooz are that enemy. It's a good idea to go ahead and fight these Nooz, and try to get a Happy Charm from them or two, because the Happy Charm, pretty awesome item, increases your chance of a lucky hit by 1.5 times, so you have a 150% chance of getting a lucky hit. Considering how high some of our stash points are, that's actually pretty good, because now we can actually, we'll be able to do a lot of critical hits, which is, those critical hits do a lot of damage. So, lucky hits, I think it's generally a good idea. Anyway, you can actually get this extra cutscene of Bowser if you go this way, and get him zapped once again. Just extra pain to Bowser. But as you can see, we're not able to go that way because of the zappy security system. So it's not a good idea to go that way. We're gonna have to find another route to get through the Toad Town caves. So we're gonna do just that. However, while there is a path there, and there is a map down below, in general, I'm not gonna really show the map. I don't really see any reason to. Oh, damn it! The Nooz ran into me. Freaking Nooz. Whatever. It gets us a level up though, that's always good. Because it's a super mushroom as well. I was hoping for another Happy Charm, but they're not a rare drop necessarily, but they're like an averagely rare drop. Like sometimes you'll get them. I mean, there's one in my practice run actually. I got 3 of them in my first fight of the Nooz. So sometimes they can drop them a lot. Sometimes not so much. So it's worth grinding on Nooz to get at least one Happy Charm. I consider it one of the better items to have at this point in the game. But as you can see, we actually reached Flower Rank, which means we can now have 3 gear pieces instead of just 2, which is pretty awesome. Which is the max number of gear pieces, actually. Once we reach Flower Rank, we actually have the max number of gear we can have on a character. So we can only have up to 3 gear pieces for Mario and Luigi. The next ranks, they do something. Getting the next 2 ranks. However, you'll see what they do when we get to a certain point in about 2 episodes. Yeah, 2 episodes. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to give the Luigi the Happy Charm actually, because he has the higher stash, so he's already more likely to get lucky hits. This just makes it so he's going to be doing lucky hits very, very often, which is a good thing because this makes up for Luigi's lack in power by being able to do critical hits very often. But before you head up, you want to be heading you want to head through this pipe, and there's actually something we need to unlock first, a new sort of mechanic that we need to unlock by going this way first. If you try to head up, you eventually reach a certain point where Stylo's going to be like, okay, we need to find a way to do this, blah blah blah, we have to go backwards, sort of thing. Or someone tells you that. Also, you can head behind the trees to get some secret items, so we're going to quickly do that as well. But yeah, and then for Mario, for now I'm just going to give 2 power items, really supercharges power. The reason I'm not going to try to get a Happy Charm for, and by the way, you can't equip 2 of the same kind of items, so I can't equip 2 of these chest item things. I can only equip 1 of them. This one, 40 SP Shrinker, does a random attack, obviously. It's very similar to the one we got for Bowser last episode, where it'll randomly shrink the SP cost by 40% for one of your items. If you want to save SP, if you really like using special attacks in battle, it's a good idea. It'll save about almost half your SP if you do that, so let's you do, an extra 50% more special attacks. However, you don't have the choice for which attacks to do, which is kind of sucky, because you might have to do a lot of Fire Flowers or something. Or, basically, but I don't know. I don't think you need special attacks that much, so I'm not going to bother with that. I'm going to stick with power items and the lucky one. Now the reason like I said before, the reason I didn't get try to grind another Happy Charm and to give to Mario, because it would be nice to have power and a extra lucky, you'd think. There's actually another really good item that it's coming up in a couple episodes. We're gonna be able to get a pretty good one of those treasure chest items. So we can't equip that and a lucky charm together, or a happy charm. So I'm gonna get that item from Mario instead. So I'm not gonna worry about getting another happy charm from the Nooz. There's another item coming up that I'm gonna put on Mario instead. You'll see how it goes. Anyway, we're gonna wrap up this episode with shell blocks, because that's gonna be our new mechanic. On the overworld, while we hit this giant block, now there's gonna be shell blocks all over the world. And we'll be able to interact with them and do some pretty cool stuff. I love these Koopas. Those guys are like, give them here! The little cheerleaders in the background, and this guy is just like, I don't know, they're just like really badass blue paratroopers, and I approve of this. They even have shades. They have the shades. I mean, yeah, they had the Koopas of shades back in Super Paper Mario, but I don't really care about those people. Koopas of shades, they're cool. All Koopas should wear sunglasses, they're pretty badass. Anyways, I feel like this is a reference to New Super Mario Bros. Actually, this whole section, because they reference, which is actually fitting that I actually did New Super Mario Bros. For a Let's Play before this one. Because as you can see, we're gonna hit the block and we're going to turn into Blue Shell Mario. Pretty much looks exactly like he does in New Super Mario Bros. Also, they mention stuff like, have you ever worn had the weight of a shell before? Well, technically we did, because technically Shell Mario has existed before. So guess what, guys? Shell Mario is back. He's going to be something we can use in this game. We have Fire Mario with the Fire Flower, and now we're going to occasionally be able to use Shell Mario out in the overworld like this, where basically Mario wears a shell, and you can use Luigi to basically shoot Mario as a projectile, which we're going to need to use in the overworld. We're going to eventually need something that, like, you know, we're going to need to be able to shoot shells out, which somehow, defying the laws of physics, acts like a boomerang. How it really should work is Mario should be falling out of the clouds right now. Why are we in the clouds in the first place? Like, we just randomly end up in the clouds for some random reason, which is kind of a bit odd, I suppose. Like, oh, we're in the Toad Town Caves, and all of a sudden we're in the sky for like a few minutes. It's just like, okay, random change of scenery is random, but whatever. So now we have Shell Mario, and that's really what's important. So, we'll have some projectile weapons to use. And also, the cool thing we get is, we get a whole new attack move from this, because they give us an attack block that's good. This is going to give us all 10 pieces for our entire new move. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That is an entire brand new move. And that also means I was wrong, because there actually turns out there is a few other items you actually are required to get. So you do have to get the green shell. Fire Flower and Jump Helmet you could technically skip, but these Yoo Hoo cannons, you do also have to get these two. They're a required item to get. There's also going to be, I think, one more bro attack another special attack in the game that you are required to get as well. But that's not going to be for quite a long time. Anyway, these items are pretty cool. You'll see 4 Luigis and 4 Marios. Memorize where they are on the barrel, and then, you know, when the barrel raises up, press that certain button, and you'll be able to launch the bros out. The pattern is always going to be the same, where they're going to start at a random barrel, but then it's always going to go downwards. It's always going to finish off a road downwards. So it starts at the top and goes downwards. So it's going to start in the upper right, move down to the bottom right, and then it's going to go back to the upper left to finish it off. So once it starts, it's going to start at a random point, but from there it generally has a pattern of just, you know, going from top to bottom. Now right to left was random as well, so it could start at the right, then go to the left, then go to the middle, but in general it always goes top to bottom, so that'll help with memorization. In general, you just want to look for a pattern, you know, be like, okay, there's a square of Luigi's here, or there's a line of Mario's here, and use that to memorize, you know, the pattern, and then, you know, just repeat the pattern. This attack is basically entirely based on pattern memorization, or just memorization in general. So they're a pretty strong item. They'll do about an excellent attack of those will do about as much as a jump helmet for just 1 extra SP. So I consider it just as good an alternative. However, jump helmets do get the advantage because they do actually are single target. I think Yoo Hoo cannons are multi-target attacks, which kind of are unfortunate. But that's it for this episode, guys. LuckySevenDX. We're gonna start off next episode in the challenge node doing Yoo Hoo cannons. See you next time.